Chapter 29. Kaci opened her eyes, confused and cold. She was lying on her back, her entire body aching. Her arm throbbed, as if to remind her what mind-numbing pain really was. She craned her head in every direction, but all she saw was space, a blanket of darkness, and speckles of stars. Where am I? How did I get here? She reached her good hand out in front of her, stretching out until her fingertips touched the glass substance that seemed to surround her. But instead of the firmness of glass, the vessel she was lying within stretched outward like a bubble, as if fleeing her hand. With a gasp, she drew her hands back. Will this flimsy thing pop if I press it too firmly? A piece of flaming debris came into view, heading straight for her. She had only a second to register it before it slammed into the side of the clear bubble-like structure. Every muscle in her body tensed for impact. But the debris made a slight sucking noise, then bounced off, flying in the opposite direction. What is this thing? No longer afraid she would pop the fragile creation, she sat up. The translucent vessel seemed to shift along with her movements. From her position, seated in midair on absolutely nothing, she stared out at space in shock. Chaos surrounded her, from the female fighter ships flying at a rapid pace in every direction, to the smoldering debris, to the massive unknown ship heading straight in her direction. Memories suddenly rushed back, and the last few minutes before the explosion came back to her. As she had been heading toward the Bortrak vessel, prepared to sacrifice her life by driving the ship set on self-destruct straight at the Bortrak mothership, the vessel had chimed in, "Emergency evacuation protocol?" She had stiffened. What does that mean? The countdown continued. 10, 9, 8. For a moment, her hopes rose. Can I actually save Seer, the women, and myself? Feet in front of her, the Bortrak ship swallowed her in its shadow. I guess it's worth a shot. She pushed the button. An orange circle appeared around her, growing in size. What in the world? A translucent bubble shimmered and grew around her in the orange light. Her pulse picked up as she forced herself not to run. A loud beep sounded, and then the ceiling of the vessel opened above her, and she shot out. The explosion, the wave rocking her bubble and sending her flying through the air, an almost invisible speck next to the flaming debris and enormous ships that surrounded her. Her arm being crushed as she rolled over and over. That's why I blacked out. She surveyed the space before her. Most of the flames were gone, floating debris, her ship, and Parsimon's ship still remained. As she studied the aftermath of the battle once more, another thought dawned on her. The Bortrak ship was gone, completely, and in its place was a field of debris, like the flaming piece that had come at her before. A laugh slipped past her lips, sounding too loud in the darkness. I did it. Now, no matter what happened to her, at least she'd killed them. The other women had a chance. Seer has a chance. She curled her good arm around her injured one and felt the oddest sense of hopelessness. So what now? No one knows where I am. I can't get aboard any of the ships. She surveyed the space before her. And there are no controls in this damn bubble. Seer will come, her mind reassured her. Come on, the voice broke in. You're just a speck in the middle of space. How can he hope to find you? As Parsimon's vessel drew closer, she saw something that made her breath catch. A bright blue light grew from one part of the ship, starting at the tip of a massive weapon. The light grew brighter and brighter. It's charging. And it was pointed straight at the big transportation ship, at Seer and the innocent people on board. Perhaps all her sacrifice had done was buy everyone a little more time before they died.